All right, good morning. We are on the record in the 53rd Circuit Court for the County of Cheboygan. We are providing public access to our criminal docket, both in the courtroom and also online. We'll start our morning docket with people of the state of Michigan versus Robert Boyd. It's two file numbers, 24-6931FH and 25-77003FH. Counsel, you want to state your appearances, beginning with people?
Melissa Goodrich, Cheboygan County Prosecutor.
Dominic F. Fandrake Jr. on behalf of Mr. Boyd, to my right.
All right, good morning. And looks like we also had a pending contempt tagging along for failing to appear, but with that being resolved by a plea in the absconding case, we'll just dismiss the contempt at this time. It would be redundant. We have in 6931 an R&O habitual third, guidelines 7 to 28, and in 7003 an attempt abscond, guidelines 2 to 17. Have you had a chance to review the report and recommendations with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have any additions or corrections to the information in that report?
No additions or corrections, Your Honor.
And do you have any challenges to the scoring?
No challenge to the scoring, Your Honor.
Ms. Goodrich, do the people have any additions, corrections, or scoring challenges?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Andriaki, anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Essentially, Your Honor, what we're asking for here is we've reviewed the recommendations. From our perspective, we would request two things. Primarily, first is that when you look at the substance abuse treatment, in the absconding file, Mr. Boyd was at the Harbor Hall. He did leave the Harbor Hall. However, he did turn himself into an inpatient hospital. And then upon completion of that program, he went to dot caring centers, and he brought this morning a certificate of completion where he successfully completed residential treatment at the dot caring centers. So our first request would be that he would get jail credit for the successful inpatient treatment that he accomplished at the DOT in Saginaw. It's a 30-day program. It's noted on page 16 of the pre-sentence interview report, the CFJ 284. And then the second request from our perspective is Mr. Boyd obviously has a significant criminal history. There's no hiding that, right? However, the vast majority of that is due to alcohol and controlled substance use. Thankfully, through a long and arduous process, Mr. Boyd is taking substance abuse treatment very seriously. As noted again on that page 16 of the CFJ 284 for substance abuse treatment, essentially all of his treatment comes within, especially the inpatient treatment, within the last about 9 months, approximately, from essentially December of 2024 to the present. He is going through AANA meetings. And we would request, given that he's staying sober and trying to turn his life around, that the 12 months, be held over his head and be placed on probation for the 1 to possible 2 years, as noted in the report. There are some. It's a little unclear as for the probation officer's recommendations, as the CFJ 145, page 2 to 3 notes that it's for probation of 1 year with credit for the time served, 12 months on the R&O case. But then if you read the
I saw there was a discrepancy in the recommendations between either probation of 1 or 2 years and in the absconding case, whether to place him on probation at all.
Right. So that's why we would just try to summarize all that up.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Boyd, it's not required that you would make a statement today, but it is allowed. Is there anything you want to tell me today or no? Go ahead and stand up if you're gonna.
I appreciated that you guys let me go to rehab. I know that I didn't do it right, when I left Harbor Hall, but it saved my life, like seriously. And so I just appreciate that. You've always been fair with me, so I can't go against anything you say, really.
All right, thank you, Mr. Boyd. Ms. Goodrich, any recommendations from the people?
Yes, Your Honor. We started here on an R&O case where on August 23rd of 2024, the defendant was running into a wooded area. The officer confirmed his outstanding warrant at that time. The defendant was found hiding under an abandoned van. The defendant came out from underneath the van and started running again. The defendant was lying down on the ground trying to hide and was found there, got up, started running away a third time until he was placed into custody. He then was released for rehab and on his own decided to switch rehabilitative facilities and did not return to the jail as court ordered. Mr. Boyd has 7 prior felonies and 21 prior misdemeanors. He is familiar with the court system and the importance of communications with the court. He's 42 years old. He's unemployed with a GED. Due to him successfully completing that second rehab that he chose to do on his own, there was consideration given and a county jail cap was placed on this case. It did not appear to be a prison type case, and also an agreement that the 2 cases would run concurrent. He received the benefit of both of those things. I'm in agreement with the PSI recommendations for 1 year in jail in the R&O with credit for the 207 days already served. I would agree with time served on the absconding. I would suggest the court order the 2 years probation. Even defendant expressed concerns about remaining substance free and had requested the assistance of court supervision to monitor and hold him accountable during the PSI interview. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Well, Mr. Boyd, if you want to stand for the court sentence, please. Mr. Boyd, you know, with the prior record that you have, you've had sort of a lifetime of a series of bad decisions, you know, in and out of jail and prison. And I've in the past, I think I've prosecuted you in the past a long time ago. I've been a judge on your cases. You know, with 7 prior felonies, then of course that means, I mean, this is an R&O, and you're looking at guidelines up to, you know, 28 months. So I mean, it doesn't take much for you to be in prison jeopardy. But you know, that's, I think if you reflect on it, that's how it probably ought to be, that people who are first-time offenders ought to get more breaks than people who are 8-time felony offenders. But so you're just in that category, Mr. Boyd. So it's really hard for me to know whether to believe anything that you say about your present intentions. You know if that's true or not, but you also know it's unlikely that a judge is going to believe those things until you show us. Right? I saw that you did in the PSI say that you wanted, you know, some help on probation to monitor and hold you accountable to remain substance free. You know, you've had some struggles in that area, to be sure. I hope you mean that. I got no way of knowing if you do. I hope you do. I think you seem to have, you know, a fair amount of intelligence where I think you're capable of doing more than what you do. But what you do, Mr. Boyd, I mean, the police don't have they don't have a really easy job, and you're out there making their life pretty tougher that day. I mean, you got a warrant and they're going out to make a warrant arrest, and you're running and you're hiding under vehicles and you're running from them again. I mean, what the heck are you doing? I mean, you know how that ends. And even if they don't catch you that day, they're catching you. So I just don't understand the thought process with, you know, that kind of felony record, that you're just going to run around from the cops like you're 17 years old in an MIP party. You know, that kid's going to get a ticket. You're going to go to prison. You know, and the prosecutor's right. It's only because, you know, you did complete a rehab that they gave you that sentence agreement. This isn't the kind of case where we look at the behavior and say, gee, we think we want to send Mr. Boyd to prison. But then when we look at his record, it's a little more tempting. So this could have been a case that ended up with you in prison because you're just being a knucklehead instead of just letting them arrest you on the warrant. I don't even know what the warrant was. What was the warrant?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, it wasn't a felony or you'd be here on that.
Right.
So you took what was at most a misdemeanor problem, maybe a child support, I had no idea, but it wasn't a felony problem. And you turned it into, am I going to prison or not? So I don't know. I don't understand that. In any event, there's a sentence agreement for a county cap and for concurrent sentencing. I'm going to follow that. I think that's fair under the circumstances. It's not my practice to give you jail credit for time that you were not in the jail. So I'm glad you completed that inpatient, and that's probably why you got the sentence agreement, but I'm not going to give you jail credit against that. So what I'm going to do, taking all those things into account, including the guidelines in file 6931 FH for the charge of resisting, obstructing police habitual second, 3-year maximum, 7 to 28 month guidelines range. I'm going to order that you serve 12 months in the Cheboygan County Jail, give you credit for 207 days previously served, and place you on probation for 24 months, subject to the terms and conditions listed on pages 2 and 3 in the pre-sentence report. Those include a crime victims assessment of 130, court costs of 350, state cost of 68. There's a monthly supervision fee, and you're going to have to complete substance abuse testing and treatment as directed by your supervising agent. I'll indicate on the judgment of sentence that I would approve you for participation in any jail programming, including any CBT classes or trustee status. If the jail determines you eligible, all I'm doing is green lighting it that I have no objection to those things, and you can earn some time off your sentence that way. And that is a sentence within the advisory guidelines range. I think it is proportionate to the circumstances of the offense, the offender, taking into account his extensive prior felony record. In file 7003 FH, I'm also going to place defendant on probation for 24 months, subject to the same terms and conditions. And order that you serve 12 months in the Cheboygan County Jail for that as well. And on that one, you have credit for 140 days. And there'll be crime victims assessment of $130, state cost of 68. I'm not going to assess court costs in that file. And in that file as well, I'll order that you can participate if the jail determines you eligible in any programming, including CBT or trustee program. That again is a sentence within the advisory guidelines, and I think that it's proportionate to the circumstances of the offense defender. Mr. Boyd, if you wanted to file an application for leave to appeal, you could. If you wanted me to give you a lawyer, I would. You'd have to ask me within 6 months. So we're going to hand you a piece of paper explaining that appeal process, ask you to initial one copy for us, and the other ones for you to fill out if you want to take an appeal. Good luck to you, Mr. Boyd. Within 24 hours of your release, you have to contact your supervisor.